Hello everyone, my name is Nipun Fernando. Let me start with a quick question. When was the last time you sent a letter in the mail? Most people today send emails or messages instead. Because of this change, traditional mail services are declining. So today I will introduce my topic, Saving Canada Post, Strategy and Decision Making. First, Canada Post is a crown corporation owned by the government of Canada. Its role is very important because it provides postal services all across the entire country, including rural and indigenous communities where private companies may not operate. However, in recent years, Canada Post has faced several major challenges. So, letter mail has been declining, the organization has experienced financial losses, and it also faces strong competition from delivery companies like FedEx, UPS, and Amazon. Because of these challenges, the government and the company are now exploring different strategies to reduce cost, improve efficiency, and adapt to the changing delivery market. In this presentation, we will explore the situation, the key problems, and possible strategies that could help Canada Post succeed in the future. Next, look at the decision-making process behind these strategies. First, the government and the Canada Post management made mostly top-down decisions. This means decisions were made mainly by senior leaders rather than through broad consultations with the employees and stakeholders. The main goal of these decisions was to reduce cost and improve financial performance. To achieve this goal, several actions were proposed and implemented. For example, Canada Post reduced delivery services and considered closing some rural post offices. Another important point is that alternative ideas suggested by the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, which also called CUPW, were mostly ignored during the decision-making process. The union proposed alternative strategies that focused on expanding services rather than reducing them. However, these suggestions were not seriously considered by the decision makers. This shows that decision-making process lacked stakeholder participation, which later contributed to many problems. Now let's look at the strategies that Canada Post actually used. The main strategy focused on cost cutting. First, Canada Post started cutting services in certain areas. This meant reducing the availability of postal services for some communities. Second, the organization laid off workers in order to reduce operating cost. Third, Canada Post reduced delivery frequency, meaning mail was delivered fewer days per week in some areas. All these actions were meant to make the organizations more cost efficient. However, there was a major strategic problem. These strategies focused mainly on short-term financial results rather than long-term sustainability and public service value. And two major strategies are the first issues was a lack of stakeholder theory. This means the organization did not fully consider the interest of important stakeholders such as employees, unions, communities, and customers. The second issue was the lack of public value approach. As a public organization, Canada Post should balance financial performance with social responsibilities and public services. And also, because these factors were not fully considered, the strategy created several negative consequences. Finally, let's discuss the outcome of these strategies. Instead of solving the problems, many negative consequences appeared. First, there were labor strikes. An employee protested against layoffs and changes in working conditions. Second, there were services disruption, which affected businesses and individuals who depend on reliable mail services. Third, many workers experienced job insecurity, which reduced employee morale and trust. Because service quality declined, public trust in Canada Post was reduced. At the same time, many customers started moving to private delivery companies like FedEx, and UPS. As more customers left, the Canada Post had lower revenue, which made financial issues like financial problem even worse. This created what experts call death spiral. A death spiral happens when prices increase and services quality decrease, when customer leave, and when the revenue drops further. Eventually, this leads to higher prices, lower service quality, and even more customer leaving. This shows that focusing only on cost cutting without considering stakeholders and long-term strategy long-term strategy can create very serious problem for public organizations. Thank you so much.